Happy Friday. Happy Friday. About time, right? About time we made it to Friday. You know, just got the little LA add-on, little custom bartender on the side. But that's okay. From a West Coast brethren, but you know, we East Coast Philly all day long. Saquon says no. All right, there was a big debate with Saquon earlier in the year after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And it was a deal where, and you can look back on one of the videos, I think it's called Saquon's Super Big Bowl of Ish, something like that, I named it. But you can go back and check it out. And what I did was I kind of talked about, well, first let me bring it back in. Just like most major cities, Philadelphia is 85% Democrat. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have racial issues and other issues here, but Philadelphia typically votes along Democrat lines. We haven't had a Republican mayor in I don't know how long. The state is a little different. We have had a couple of Republican governors over the last 20 plus years, but the city is way different. Philadelphia very, very rarely will hire or elect someone who's a non-Democrat. So Trump, let me just make sure I get this straight. Trump has a council that he wanted to set up. All right. And so let's see here. It is called the Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. All right. So there was a call put in and he obviously wanted Barkley to be on it. But let's hear about some of the people that are currently on it. All right. Chiefs kicker, Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. We heard about some of his conservative stances. If you haven't looked it up, New York Giants legend, one of the best players of all time, Lawrence Taylor. I don't know where he stands at. Brian DeChambeau, golfer, he typically stands with Trump. Annika Sorensen, Triple H from the WWE. Nick Bosa, we kind of know where he stands at. Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback at Miami for the Dolphins, and Commissioner Roger Goodell. And you know, I think we probably pretty much know where he stands also. So, why do you think Saquon decided not to sign up to go to duty for the Donald? Well, he says the explanation he gave was, you know, that he's too busy, the season is coming up, and all this other kind of stuff. But come on, we kind of know what it is. All of those other guys are busy, right? And we know it's probably just basically something entitled. But as I said before in the other video where I talked about that, where a lot of the guys, including Jalen Hurts, that's another video we did, it hurts to stand for something, actually stood for something. And said, hey, listen, you know what? I'm a black guy here. Although he may not come out, and I mean Donald Trump, come out and say certain things or make racial tropes to people who are black and who've lived long enough, it's clearly evident. And sometimes what he may do is that he'll kind of like cherry pick a black person from here, kind of as like a token to say, hey, look, see, you know, I'm down with him. You know, it's the same kind of thing where, you know, like where a person like me being a black person to say, oh, you know what? I can't be like that. I got white friends. No, that's in reality, that's not the point. The point is that he continues to do divisive things like this. And I'm sure, especially because a lot of the Eagles, especially black Eagles, did not show up to the White House. So he caught a lot of backlash from it. And what he tried to say is, not going too deeply into it, but he tried to say, hey, look, you know, well, I golfed with President Obama, you know, a few weeks ago. You know, I just happen to respect the office. I happen to respect the office. And what I find is that there are a lot of people that use that as an excuse to align with Donald Trump in a lot of his ways in the office. Now, we're not going to go too deep into any of that kind of stuff. And, I respect anybody's opinion. Anybody listening now, you're a Republican. As you could probably guess, I'm a Democrat, and that's okay. All right, because we all live in this country together. But we all don't have the same view of this country together. So next week, we're going to talk a little bit and get into a deeper dive as far as when we're talking about racism, just some different things like that I kind of want to touch on. Because in my estimation, it's not about me blaming you or you blaming me, but you never get better if you don't talk about it. Instead of you can't act like it's not there. You ever had a problem with a friend or something, and it's like, y'all got like a situation where y'all not really seeing eye to eye, or you had a big argument or a blowout, but one of your other buddies is having to get together, so y'all all got to come together. You know how that drive is over there? It's like one of those weird feelings where you feel like, it just doesn't feel good in your stomach, right? So these are some of the conversations that we have to have, but we have to be respectful. We have to be respectful of each other. Because a lot of times what happens is that when you don't have these conversations, you got this person over here whispering, yeah. You know what? Yeah, you know what? They really are racist. They really act towards such a, oh, yeah. Black people, they are all rowdy. They deserve what they get. They act out. They can't never have a good time doing nothing. You know what I mean? They always got to fight. They got to shoot. Yeah, well, white people, they think they run everything. And then these other people, these other groups want to assimilate to be white people. And a lot of times, because with stereotypes, people hate the word stereotype, but stereotypes are typically based off of something of fact or of experience of fact. So in this situation, to get back to Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, I feel like although he could be a Republican, I don't know, he could have voted for Trump, but I think that this is one time where him possibly alienating himself from possibly his teammates, from possibly the fan base, just does not wear well. And I think that is part of the reason why he decided to say, you know what? Nah, man. Because you know how that stuff goes. Those guys don't really have to do much work. They're not going to have to do much. But the thing is that they're going to tell him, whoa, dude, now you already went to the White House. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking like just a black guy now, a brother. Yeah, dog. Yeah. You went to the White House? Yeah. You ain't seen no other one of us there? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So no wonder when I was making them ribs and chicken at the cookout, you ain't want to come. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because, see, the thing that can't be underestimated is even though they're all professionals at the highest level, there still has to be a certain camaraderie amongst them. And also, too, because, just like with anything, the production on the field is going to determine how well people ultimately treat you. But I tell you one thing, you do not want to be in a place, a city, especially like Philly. I'm telling you, especially like Philly, where you have people that because as much as people try to deny it, as much as most of us try to go against it, politics, religion, they are important to people. And people feel a certain type of way about politics and religion and even race. It's just that a lot of times, to play nice, a lot of people don't want to come out and say stuff about race. But those are major things. So you tell me what you think. I think Saquon said no because he don't feel like dealing with no more of the backlash. He's always been looked at as a good kid or good man, no issues, no controversy, and I think he just wants to steer clear of the controversy. But you tell me what you think. But before you tell me what you think, like I usually do, and say, we had a good week. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I got to check. I think we're over 300 now. I really appreciate y'all. And what I want you to do is I want you to do something nice for yourself this weekend. You know what I mean? If there are any ladies out here listening or guys, send this to your lady. Yo, go buy him a suit. Go buy that man something nice. Go buy the guy in your life something nice, even if it's your father, your grandfather. Go buy him something nice. Go do something nice for him, because you know what? Throughout life, he's put a lot on his shoulders. And conversely, guys, you got your lady, your daughter, or somebody, go out and get him something nice this weekend. If you got the money. Like most of us probably don't. But, you'll figure it out some kind of way. And if you can't, you ain't got no money to buy him anything that nice, go get him some water ice. But look, until next time, matter of fact, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Live life. Don't let life live you.